All right, viewers, let's move on to our next top story. Now, search operations are continuing for the second consecutive day along the Indo-Pakistan international border in Jammu. Joint forces have intensified house-to-house searches in the Kanachak area following satellite communication inputs about suspected terrorists. Here's more on that in our special report.
Anti-terror operations continued for a second consecutive day along the India-Pakistan international border. Joint teams of the Army, BSF and SOG commandos launched these operations after suspected terrorists were tracked in the Kanachak area.
Searches are continuing for the second consecutive day after a suspected terrorist communication was intercepted by the intel agencies. Right now we are reporting from the Kanachak area where the troops of the Indian Army as well as the border security force, they all have cornered this entire area of the Kanachak that is close to Indo-Pakistan international border. This area is hardly a kilometer's distance from the Indo-Pakistan international border, and here the troops of the Indian Army along with the BSF and the Special Operations Group, they have intensified the searches in the area. This was the suspected area where the intercepts got to with the security forces, after which they swung into the action. There also you will see that the local residences are thoroughly being searched by the Jammu and Kashmir police along with the Indian Army, and here you will see that the troops are entering the houses of the civilians so that they can ask details about them and whether they have seen some movement, because this is a house-to-house search that is currently underway. They are entering those houses where they suspect that there might be someone or there is a threat of someone hiding in the area.
The preparedness from the forces comes as part of the Army's winter war game operation, Sard Hawa.
There's a big breaking news, big development coming in right at this moment. DRDO successfully flight tests man-portable anti-tank guided missile with top attack capability against a moving target. I repeat, against a moving target. Now, the third generation fire and forget man-portable anti-tank guided missile with top attack capability was flight tested successfully, and the visuals are on your television screen. Now, this was flight tested successfully against a moving target in KK Ranges, Nagar, Maharashtra by DRDO's Defense Research and Development Laboratory, Hyderabad on January 11, 2026. Now, the indigenously developed MPATGM consists of state-of-the-art indigenous technologies like imaging, infrared, IIR, homing, a seeker, all-electric control actuation system, fire control system, tandem warhead propulsion system and high-performance sighting system, which are developed by DRDO's sister laboratories, namely Research Center, Emarat, Hyderabad, Terminal Ballistics Research Laboratory. All right, for more information, we have Ishan with us to speak on this issue. For more details, Ishan, can you share us more details about this flight test conducted by DRDO?
Absolutely. This test conducted by DRDO is of a man-portable anti-tank guided missile. What this means is that this missile that is basically used against enemy armor can be moved by one person, fired by one person and operated by one person. This weighs approximately 14 kilograms of the missile, and the central launch control unit also weighs around 14 kilograms. This has a range of up to 4,000 meters with a minimum range of 200 meters, and it can penetrate 120 mm armor. Now, this 120 mm armor piercing capability is very important, and the top attack capability is very important because we know that tanks have softer armor on the top, and this enables this missile to be deadly accurate and lethal. Apart from that, it can do a terminal vertical drop maneuver. What that means is that when the missile is fired towards a target, it will turn sharply upwards and then attack the top of the tank. Now, attacking the top of the tank ensures a kill for this missile. This is equipped with the state-of-the-art infrared seeker, and most importantly, it is a fire and forget system. It can track a target, it can track a moving target, and can be equipped with heat rounds, that is high explosive anti-tank rounds. Now, this particular missile is the third generation or the third iteration, and the major difference and major development in this particular iteration of this missile is the top attack capability, which was not present in the earlier versions. Back to studio.
All right, Ishan, if you can share more details about this and tell us when will it be inducted with the Indian Army and for other forces as well, because it's high time we need such guided missiles, anti-tank guided missiles. Where exactly will it be used?
Absolutely. This is akin to a javelin or a spike missile that is used by the British and American forces. We recently saw a large order placed by DG Infantry to purchase javelin missiles on an emergency acquisition basis. This MP-80GM will fulfill that role and has 90% indigenous content. It is expected to be introduced into the army by 2026-2027, replacing older systems like the Milan and other missile tech that we have in house. And the best part is that this is developed by DRDO and is manufactured in India. Therefore, it reduces our reliance on foreign powers and will be a great replacement for the Javelin missile that India has recently purchased from the United States of America.
All right, Ishan, thanks for the information on this missile system. Thanks a lot. All right, viewers, we are getting a big breaking news right at this moment, and it's about BJP leader K. Annamalai has hit back at MNS chief Raj Thakre's Rasmalai jab, saying, "Who are Aditya Thakre and Raj Thakre to threaten me?" Annamalai's remarks came after Thakre mocked him at a joint Shiv Sena MNS rally in Mumbai, questioning his authority to comment on Mumbai's issues. Now, Annamalai had earlier stated that Mumbai is an international city. So this was a response to that statement of Annamalai. Now, he has received threats. He received threats including warnings to cut off his legs if he visits Mumbai, but vowed to go ahead saying, "If I were afraid of such threats, I would have stayed in my village." So this is Raj Thakre versus Annamalai. Now, BJP leader K. Annamalai has hit back at MNS chief Raj Thakre.
काल परवाकडे कोणतरी एक तामिळनाडूमधून रसमलाई आली होती. तो सांगतो मुंबईचा आणि म्हणजे महाराष्ट्राचा संबंध काय. तुझाच काय संबंध आहे इथे याचा. यांच्यासाठीच माननीय बाळासाहेब बोलले होते, हटाव लुंगी आणि बजाव पुंगी. अनेक दाक्षिणात्य इथे राहत आहेत.
வேலை இல்லாமல் 2 பேர் சுற்றிட்டு இருக்கிறாங்க. அங்கே பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஆதித்ய தாக்கரே, ராஜ் தாக்கரே, இவங்கெல்லாம் யாருங்க? அங்கிருந்து என்னை மிரட்டிட்டு இருக்காங்க. நான் பெருமைப்படுறேன். ஒரு விவசாயினுடைய பையன் இன்னைக்கு தாக்கரேவனுடைய கோபத்தை நான் சம்பாரிச்சிருக்கிறேன். எனக்கே அது ஆச்சரியம் தான். எங்கள் அப்பா படித்தது 10வது, அம்மா படித்தது 6வது. எல்லாம் இத்தனை நாளாக ஆடு மாடு தான் மேய்ச்சிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. இப்போ உடம்பு சரியில்லை, ஆடு மாடு மேய்க்கிறதுல அந்த ஆடு மாட்டை நான் மேய்க்கிறேன். இன்னைக்கு தாக்கரே நேற்று கூட்டம் போட்டு ஆயிரக்கணக்கான நபர்களை போட்டு அந்த ராஜ் தாக்கரே, உத்தவ் தாக்கரே, ஆதித்ய தாக்கரே மேடை போட்டு என்னை அங்கிருந்து திட்டுறானுங்க. அந்த அளவுக்கு நான் வளர்ந்துட்டேன்னா, அந்த அளவுக்கு ஒரு விவசாயினுடைய பையன் இன்னைக்கு மும்பையில் அவனுக்கு கூட்டம் போட்டு திட்டுற அளவுக்கு நான் உயர்ந்துட்டேனான்னு தெரியல. சிவசேனா, இன்னைக்கு தாக்கரேவோட சிவசேனா அவங்களுடைய பத்திரிகை நம்ம முரசொலி மாதிரி சாம்லான்னு ஒன்று வச்சிருக்கானுங்க. அதில் எழுதியிருக்கானுங்க, மும்பைக்குள்ள வந்தால் என் காலை வெட்டுவேன், இங்கடிப்பேன். நான் மும்பைக்கு வரத்தான் போகிறேன், நீ இங்கடிச்சு பாரு, காலை வெட்டிப்பாரு, அதான் 2 பார்த்துடலாம். அதனால் இந்த மிரட்டல் உருட்டுருக்குலாம் நான் பயந்துருந்தால் ஊரில் உட்காந்து என் கிராமத்துக்குள்ளே சொந்த ஊரில் தான் இருக்கணும். 2வது, இன்னைக்கு பாரத பிரதமர் நரேந்திர மோடி அவர்கள் இந்தியாவுடைய தலைவர் நான் சொல்லும் பொழுது அவர் குஜராத்தி இல்லைன்னு ஆயிருமா? அதே போல காமராஜர் ஐயா அவர்கள் இந்தியாவுடைய மாபெரும் தலைவர் நான் சொல்லும் பொழுது அவர் தமிழர் இல்லை என்று ஆகிவிடுமா? இன்னைக்கு மும்பை உலகத்தினுடைய தலைநகரம் என்று சொல்லும் பொழுது அது மராட்டியர்களால் கட்டிய நகரம் இல்லைன்னு ஆயிருமா?
All right, for more details, we have Meenakshi live with us. Meenakshi, if you can put into perspective what exactly is happening in Maharashtra politics after Annamalai's statement on Mumbai, on Bombay about it being an international city. Now, it seems like Raj Thakre did not like it.
Yes, absolutely. As you have mentioned that ahead of BMC election, MNS chief Raj Thackeray revived the controversial slogan "Hatao Lungi" at a rally in Dadar, and he started attacking BJP leader K. Annamalai. Thackeray accused Annamalai of questioning Mumbai's Maharashtrian identity by calling it global. And the controversy erupted after Annamalai allegedly suggested that Mumbai is an international city rather than purely Maharashtrian one. And why he said so? Annamalai said that the Mumbai BMC budget has 40,000 crore, where Bangalore has 19,000 crore budget and Chennai has 8,000 crore budget. So he said the Mumbai needs the right people in administration, capable people in administration to manage this kind of finances. He said it in a Dharavi at a rally where he supporting BJP leader ahead of BMC election. After that, MNS chief Raj Thackeray said that he mockingly referring that BJP leader Annamalai as a Rasmalai, and he said Mumbai there is a conspiracy. Raj Thackeray claiming that there is a conspiracy to detach Mumbai from Maharashtra. This is not new, as you know. In Maharashtra, Raj Thackeray, MNS chief, and his workers. Already we have known that MNS workers started beating people in the name of Maratha pride, and Raj Thackeray repeatedly making such comments, which is a controversial comment in the name of Maratha pride. So ahead of BMC election, now the political heat of Mumbai has been rising.
All right, thanks, Meenakshi, for the details on this story. All right, viewers, we talk constantly about artificial intelligence changing the world, in offices, in governance, in everyday life. Tonight, that conversation comes to national television in its most direct form. Republic Media Network Editor-in-Chief Arnab Goswami versus artificial intelligence. One anchor, one AI system, one uninterrupted hour of content never seen before on Indian television. AI has access to data. Arnab brings experience, instinct, and the ability to dismantle weak answers. It's about who thinks deeper under pressure. This is a moment that goes beyond television. It's about where human judgment stands in an age of machines. Don't miss the man versus machine encounter. Arnab versus AI in a format never seen before on Indian television tonight at 9 p.m.
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला। MDH केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो, मिलाओ और खाओ,
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है, सबका राजा हार्डकोर मसाला।
You're playing safe, Blue Machines. I've never played safe all my life. I don't think on issues concerning the country you are allowed to say it depends. You are not allowed, Blue Machine, to say it depends. Take a side. Answer like an individual with a conscience, not like a pre-programmed software. The nation wants to know what side you're on.
In association with Blue Machines.
The icy cold waters of the Atlantic Ocean are getting hot, and how? The United States, in an overnight operation, has seized 2 oil tankers, one in the North Atlantic near Iceland, the other one near the Caribbean Sea. The one caught or seized near Iceland is Russia flagged, and the one that's caught near the Caribbean Sea was apparently a shadow tanker, a dark tanker carrying Venezuelan oil to China. Now, both the tankers were carrying Venezuelan oil, which is sanctioned by the United States. There is an embargo. It's interesting and a little curious how the two tankers could leave such heavily guarded waters, which are guarded both by
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked quality.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
The icy cold waters of the Atlantic Ocean are getting hot, and how? The United States, in an overnight operation, has seized 2 oil tankers, one in the North Atlantic near Iceland, the other one near the Caribbean Sea. The one caught or seized near Iceland is Russia flagged, and the one that's caught near the Caribbean Sea was apparently a shadow tanker, a dark tanker carrying Venezuelan oil to China. Now, both the tankers were carrying Venezuelan oil, which is sanctioned by the United States. There is an embargo. It's interesting and a little curious how the two tankers could leave such heavily guarded waters, which are guarded both by the US Coast Guard and the US Navy, and reach this far. In fact, in the case of the merchant vessel Marinera, which is Russia flagged and was caught near Iceland by the US Navy with help from the United Kingdom Navy, the US Navy was on the chase, hot on the chase of this vessel for about 2 weeks, which shows that it was completely tracked, and both the sides were aware, because even in the case of the Russians, a submarine was closely following or shadowing this tanker which was carrying oil for Russia. Now, it's interesting why Russia, which itself has so much of energy, needs this oil from Venezuela, and that's where the whole geopolitics comes into play. Because remember, post the capture, abduction, kidnapping of Nicolas Maduro, the president of Venezuela, by the United States, the US has been building, President Trump himself leading from the front, a scenario where they want to really grab Greenland from Denmark. And so they really want to show that the security of North Atlantic is compromised and they need to be there, and that's why they need Greenland. So maybe it's because of that, we don't know. But taken together, it's clear that in the case of merchant vessel Marinera and the merchant vessel Sofia, which was caught a dark fleet called...
Ladies and gentlemen, we talk constantly about artificial intelligence changing the world in offices, in governance, in everyday life. But tonight, that conversation comes to national television in its most direct form. Republic Media Network's editor-in-chief Arnab Goswami versus artificial intelligence. One anchor, one AI system, one uninterrupted hour of content never seen before on Indian television. AI has access to data. Arnab brings experience, instinct, and the ability to dismantle the weak answers. It's about who thinks deeper under pressure. This is a moment that goes beyond television. It is about where human judgment stands in an age of machines. So don't miss the man versus machine encounter, Arnab versus AI, in a format that has never been seen before on Indian television. Tonight at 9 p.m. Time for the headlines. PVK Chief Vijay appears before CBI for questioning in the Karur Stampede probe. Vijay to be shown key documents. Prime Minister Modi and German Chancellor Friedrich Merz hold bilateral talks over defense and trade, joint statement issued by both the nations. ISRO launches.
3, 2, 1, 0. S-139 motor and both strap-ons ignite.
ISRO launches its workhouse PSLV C-62 rocket from Sriharikota. ISRO chief confirms launch faced anomaly. Congress leader Manishankar Iyer criticizes Hindutva, calls Hindutva the perverter of Hinduism. Trump issues second warning to Iran in 24 hours, says the line has been crossed and considering strong options.
Welcome, Blue Machines AI, into my studio. Hi, Blue Machines. How are you doing? Are you ready?
Hi, Arnab. I'm Blue Machines. Excited to have a conversation.
India's first man versus machine moment on national television. 1 hour, one take, unedited debate between Arnab and AI at 9 p.m. tonight. And who will win the man versus machine battle when the most fearless anchor of our times takes on the most advanced technology of our age? Arnab versus AI in a never seen format before. Never seen before format on television at 9 p.m. tonight. We'll start with the news coming in on Iran, viewers. Now, President Donald Trump has made a big declaration now, viewers. This is a declaration. We've seen that there have been warnings after warnings by United States of America. But viewers, now we are going to get you this weird post by Donald Trump. He writes himself as the acting president of Venezuela. Acting president of Venezuela. Donald Trump has made a big declaration, and you can see that, Donald Trump has never minced his words when it comes to Venezuela. He said that it's United States that's who's running this country. But now he's taken a step further, and on his Truth Social, he describes himself as the incumbent president, acting president of Venezuela. Viewers, this has triggered a massive buzz. And this is more than a buzz, of course. This is January 2026. He writes that he's the incumbent president since January 2026. Talk of sovereignty, talk of invasion, talk of what not, what has happened after Venezuelan president's capture. And now he declares himself the acting president of Venezuela. And that has, of course, caused a sensation. All right, viewers, let's take a look at some other stories that are making news from across the country. Nicolas Maduro. Polling has begun in Paimpadam 7th ward of Mutedam Gram Panchayat in Kerala. Voters have started casting their ballots at their polling booth set up at Karappuram Crescent. The ward has a total of 991 voters. Meanwhile, the election in this ward was postponed following the death of UDF candidate Vatat Hasina, which occurred 3 days before the scheduled polling date. The Maharashtra government is set to deposit the December and January installments of the Ladli Bahin Yojana into the accounts of beneficiary women on the occasion of the Makar Sankranti festival with the total amount of 3,000 rupees. Meanwhile, the Congress party has questioned this installment and written a letter to the Election Commission. A shocking suicide incident took place in Chandapur in Bengaluru, where a dental student, Yashaswini, died by suicide at her own residence, triggering serious allegations against her college faculty. Following a complaint by her mother, Parimala, FIR has been registered at the Surinagar police station against 5 lecturers, including the college principal. And shifting focus to Maharashtra viewers, Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar, in an exclusive interview to Republic TV, has in fact said that, has confirmed that any decision on a possible merger between the two Pawar faction, that is his faction and Sharad Pawar's faction, would be taken only after the elections. Speaking to Republic, Pawar dismissed speculation of internal rifts, asserting that there is no dispute within the family and that all issues have been resolved. Ajit Pawar maintains that the party's immediate focus remains on the elections and broader organizational decisions, including a merger, will be considered at an appropriate time with consensus.
एनसीपी शरद पवार गुट के साथ आपने यहाँ पे गठबंधन किया है, कैसा दिख रहा है? लोग का रिस्पांस कैसा आ रहा है कि साथ में आने के बाद?
वो वोटिंग होने के बाद पता चलेगा कि लोगों को कैसा लगा। हम तो आए हैं, हम साथ साथ काम कर रहे हैं और रिजल्ट जब आएगा तब पता चलेगा।
क्या आखिर मजबूरी हो गई कि शरद पवार गुट के एनसीपी के साथ को आपको फिर से आना पड़ा?
हमारे दोनों का वोटों का बंटवारा न हो, दोनों साथ साथ रहे थे तो हमारे दोनों को कार्यकर्ताओं को मदद हो सकती है, दोनों पार्टी के कार्यकर्ताओं को। अगर कार्यकर्ता ही नाराज होगा तो कैसा चलेगा?
आने वाले दिनों में तस्वीर कुछ और देखने को मिल सकता है कि जो पवार फैमिली है साथ में है।
अभी पहले हमारे सामने लोकल बॉडीज के चुनाव है, उसमें हम ज्यादा ध्यान दे रहे। वो चुनाव खत्म होने के बाद हम देखेंगे, अभी कोई उसके बारे में हमने सोचा नहीं।
लेकिन लोग कह रहे हैं कि अगर शरद पवार पार्टी और आप साथ में आ जाएंगे तो जो कार्यकर्ता है, नेता है, आप उनकी काफी इच्छा है।
मैंने कहा ना शर्मा जी, मैंने आपको बताया कि पहले हमारे लोकल बॉडीज के चुनाव में हम सभी ध्यान दे रहे, उसके लिए कार्यकर्ता कैसे उसको सक्सेस मिलेगी, ये हमारा काम चालू है। ये पहले ये तो खत्म होने दो, एक एक काम करके जाना चाहिए ना। पहला इसको फर्स्ट प्रायोरिटी इसको है, वो काम चालू है।
मतलब पॉजिटिव का दौर शुरू है, मतलब सकारात्मक पॉजिटिव हो रहा है सब।
अभी मैंने कहा है कि हम ये अलग अलग सिटी की डेवलपमेंट अच्छी होनी चाहिए, बिल्कुल वहां करप्शन नहीं होना चाहिए, काम की क्वालिटी नंबर 1 की होनी चाहिए, आगे की 25-50 साल सोचकर डिसीजन लेना चाहिए, सभी को साथ लेके आगे जाना चाहिए। ये हमारी प्रथम जिम्मेवारी है और हम वो निभा रहे हैं।
लोग कह रहे हैं कि ये भी आ रहा है कि आप महाराष्ट्र संभालेंगे और सुप्रिया सुले जो केंद्र में जाएंगी, ऐसी भी बातें आ रही हैं कि
क्या है, ये मीडिया वालों अलग अलग सवाल उठाते हैं, वही चर्चा करते हैं, वही सवाल पूछते हैं, उनके मन में क्या चलता है ये उनका अधिकार है, मुझे उसके बारे में कुछ बोलना नहीं। ऐसे कोई बात हुई ही नहीं तो मैं क्यों उसके बारे में बताऊं।
ये भी कहा जा रहा है कि अप्रैल महीने में दोनों पार्टियां मर्ज हो जाएंगी, ये नगर पालिका चुनाव खत्म होने के बाद।
ये तो मुझे आपकी तरफ से सुनने को मिला, हमें दोनों को पता नहीं, आपको कैसा पता होगा, मुझे तो पता नहीं होगा।
लेकिन जो बातों में आ रहा है, बात करते से लग रहा है, आप कल मैनिफेस्टो में साथ में आए सुप्रिया सुले जी के साथ, मैनिफेस्टो देखा जा रहा है, जो आगे दिख रहा है, तस्वीरें दिख रही है, कहीं कहीं सकारात्मक बढ़ रहा है, दोनों तरफ से बढ़ रहा है कदम।
नहीं, हमारे कार्यकर्ताओं के लिए हम साथ साथ आए हैं और साथ साथ चुनाव लोकल बॉडीज के लड़ रहे हैं। ये तो अभी हमने किया है, वो सबने देखा है।
उन्होंने कहा है कि कोई परिवार का जो विवाद तो है नहीं, ये राजनीतिक था। सुप्रिया सुले,
परिवार की बात है ही नहीं, हमारा सब परिवार एक ही है।
And when the most fearless anchor of our times takes on the most advanced technology of our age, the result is not a debate, it is a challenge. Republic Media Network's editor-in-chief Arnab Goswami has confronted power in every form. Governments, institutions, systems that believed they were beyond questioning. Tonight, he confronts a power with no face and no emotion. Artificial intelligence, AI. There are no scripts guiding this encounter, no filters shaping the responses, just raw intellect on one side and the machine logic on the other. Tested minute by minute, answer by answer, and it's completely unedited. This is the debate of tomorrow happening today, and it will tell us a lot about where technology stands when faced with human scrutiny. Do not miss the man versus machine encounter. Arnab versus AI tonight at 9 p.m. on Republic. In fact, my colleague Himanshu Shekhar is joining us live on the broadcast, and he'll tell us more details about Arnab versus AI debate. Take a look.
I really hope so. Yeah.
Hey guys.
Hey.
How's it going?
All good?
All systems check.
Yeah, all good.
Everything looks good? Okay.
Inside the Republic Production Control Room, the final checks. This is no ordinary debate. There are no guests, no windows. Producers, directors, and technical crews get ready, knowing this isn't a routine broadcast. This is Arnab versus AI. The Blue Machines control room is set up. Screens light up, systems load, and engineers begin preparing the AI for a live television debate on India's most watched news show and India's most popular journalist.
So in this particular frame, we see all the concurrent calls. यहाँ पर latency देख रहे हैं. यहाँ पर I think we are seeing how the bot logs and all that are coming in picture. So yeah, I think this is it.
Dashboards track responses, processing and performance in real time. Machines will replace audio control and human intervention. There are no real people on Windows. There is man versus machine.
This is the control room. Your team is going to be situated here. You are going to be monitoring our AI and the anchor. BGM will be given to you here.
Inside the Republic PCR, Republic's directors and producers work alongside the Blue Machines team, testing workflows before going live. Nobody has done this before. They, like us, don't know what to expect.
Yeah, I think this data is something that will be important for us to see.
I think overall to abhi, I think 29,000, 30,000 generally is our number.
Every feed is tested. Latency is discussed. Milliseconds matter in a live debate. Machine intervention with gigabyte memory will ensure the strongest arguments. The Blue Machines is being prepared for live broadcast conditions. Arnab arrives in the studio and begins his final prep. Tonight, he isn't questioning a politician or a newsmaker. He's questioning a machine.
This is totally optimized and both of us are working with our thinking and our machines and our algorithms wide open.
This is where my guardrails came in.
This isn't just a debate. It's a live test of human judgment against machine intelligence. It is man versus machine, Arnab versus AI, tonight at 9 p.m.
And my colleague Himanshu Shekhar joins us live on the broadcast from the digital desk. Well, Himanshu, that everybody is talking about AI these days, and there's so much of talk about AI replacing human beings, AI taking over jobs. What can AI do as a resource? There's so much talk. But tell us more about what's in store when Arnab Goswami takes on debates with AI. That's a faceless, emotionless tool. It's man versus machine. What's in store 6 hours from now on Republic?
Rakshita, like all of us, our users, our viewers are also pretty interested and excited about this upcoming debate. I'll just read out a couple of comments and couple of questions that we are getting in the newsroom. Well, Nikita from Bengaluru, she is asking, AI may have data, but Arnab has instinct. Then you have Rohit writing, honestly curious to see this AI is fast, but Arnab is unpredictable. So there are a lot of questions. Questions like, will Arnab put AI to a stress test? Will Arnab ask AI political questions? Can Blue Machines AI actually live up to Arnab's expectations, or you can say the crowd's expectations? So all of us are glued to talk more about this, about what kind of questions and comments we are getting right now. I have with me Pranav. Pranav, what kind of comments we are getting?
Well, Himanshu, the entire, the audience is completely excited. We're getting responses not just from India, but in fact from across the globe. I'll just, and the buzzwords, if we really have to go by, they are that it's a bold step, it's a futuristic step, and everybody is extremely curious to know if AI can really withstand the best news anchors of our times, if it can really answer the questions on politics, on economics, and Donald Trump and Prime Minister Narendra Modi's equation and tariffs. So we're all excited to really see whether AI can really answer those questions.
Rakshita, also I have one very interesting comment from one of our users, Pooja, and she's asking, AI won't survive cross-questioning from Arnab. So all that is building up, it's tonight at 9 that you guys, all of you should watch. And this is probably the first of a kind debate in human history. Rakshita.
Absolutely. So, of course, you can see that the curiosity is palpable and there are so many questions that are coming in. In fact, we all are, even in the newsroom, everybody is very, very excited to, how this debate is going to go. But if you could also just tell us about, what are the, the nuances that we are going to touch upon, and what are the, so-called, we talk about news angles, but what are the angles of this man versus machine debate?
It's a very interesting question, and I think it's our viewers are also writing to us saying, will AI replace journalists? Probably I will have to see whether Arnab has asked the Blue Machines AI this question or not. Can AI think like, can human intelligence be usurped by AI's intelligence? All these questions are definitely, we look forward to that 9 p.m. debate. I also have a very interesting question like, while AI represents the future, can the best news anchor actually question and grill AI on trust and ethics question? Can AI correctly answer questions like Tiananmen Square? Can there be an unbiased reply by AI? So we are looking forward to all of that. I probably also am as curious as any of our viewers tonight.
Right. Thanks, Himanshu and Pranav, for joining us and giving us some teaser of what to expect. And meanwhile, we shift our focus to the stories that we have been tracking for our viewers. Now, viewers, this is news coming in from Karnataka. Bengaluru's Kulinagar was ravaged by a huge fire that left families devastated and homeless overnight. More than 10,000 houses were razed to ground following the major fire outbreak. Watch this report to know more.
Kulinagar area of Nandini layout in Bengaluru was severely ravaged by a massive fire incident, leaving several families devastated. The fire broke out after sponge material caught fire, thereby rapidly spreading to the nearby houses. More than 10 houses were razed to the ground following a major fire outbreak in Bengaluru. At least 5 motorcycles, 3 goods vehicles and an auto rickshaw were also engulfed in the devastating fire. As per the residents, flames spread swiftly, leaving them with little time to save their belongings. Several families were rendered homeless overnight. Those affected were forced to spend the entire night on the streets. Tearfully recounting the incident, residents said their lives had been shattered and appealed for immediate assistance and rehabilitation.
So, artificial intelligence is designed to think, and Republic Media Network editor-in-chief Arnab Goswami is designed to question. And tonight, those two forces are going to meet head-on. For decades, Arnab has built his reputation on asking the questions that others avoid, on refusing to accept rehearsed answers, on pushing until clarity emerges. And now he brings that same approach to a machine that claims intelligence. This is not about technology hype. This is about testing AI in the harshest possible environment, live television, where interruptions happen, pressure builds, and nothing can be edited out. When human instinct collides with machine reasoning, sparks are inevitable, and the nation gets to watch it unfold in real time. So don't miss the man versus machine encounter tonight, Arnab versus AI at 9 p.m. only on Republic. It's time to a very, very short break. We'll be right back.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला।
Intelligence means originality. You are a pattern recognizer. Albert Einstein was not a pattern recognizer. You just collect a number of points, but you're incapable of coming up with anything unique on your own.
Most human intelligence, even in newsrooms and boardrooms, is not Einstein's discovering relativity every day. It is applied judgment on patterns, context, language, ethics. On that spectrum, I'm not a robot in the washing machine sense. I am a pattern combining, hypothesis suggesting, argument generating system.
No, you are not an
Derivative
argument
of
generating system. You are trained to extrapolate from existing information. Therefore, you are structurally incapable of the risk taking that is required for intellectual breakthrough.
In association with Blue Machines.
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला। MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल। ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े। क्या निराला MDH मसाला। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद ये तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा।
The icy cold waters of the Atlantic Ocean are getting hot, and how? The United States, in an overnight operation, has seized 2 oil tankers, one in the North Atlantic near Iceland, the other one near the Caribbean Sea. The one caught or seized near Iceland is Russia flagged, and the one that's caught near the Caribbean Sea was apparently a shadow tanker, a dark tanker carrying Venezuelan oil to China. Now, both the tankers were carrying Venezuelan oil, which is sanctioned by the United States. There is an embargo. It's interesting and a little curious how the 2 tankers could leave such heavily guarded waters, which are guarded both by the US Coast Guard and the US Navy, and reach this far. In fact, in the case of the merchant vessel Marinera, which is Russia flagged and was caught near Iceland by the US Navy with help from the United Kingdom Navy, the US Navy was on the chase, hot on the chase of this vessel for about 2 weeks.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
warm welcome, viewers. You're watching Live and Breaking, and I am Rakshita Mishra with you. Republic Media Network Editor-in-Chief Arnab Goswami closed 2025 leading the news cycle, setting the agenda and driving national impact, becoming the talking point across India, while the conversations that mattered. As 2026 begins, Arnab does something that no Indian news anchor has done ever before. He turns his questions towards a machine. This is a real unscripted confrontation between human judgment and artificial intelligence. The systems have been questioned by Arnab before, but institutions too have been held to account. Tonight, that same sharp scrutiny is aimed at AI. Artificial intelligence is built on data, logic, and code. Arnab is built on instinct, experience, and the ability to see through answers that do not add up. When those two worlds collide on live television, there are no second chances, no resets, and no room to hide. This is India's first true man versus machine moment on national television. 1 hour, one take, no edits. Don't miss this man versus machine encounter. It's Arnab versus AI tonight at 9 p.m. on Republic TV. Time for the headlines. TVK Chief Vijay appears before CBI for questioning in the Karur Stampede probe. Vijay to be shown key documents. Prime Minister Modi and German Chancellor hold bilateral talks over defence and trade. Joint statement issued.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0. S139 motor and both strap-ons ignite.
ISRO launches its workhorse PSLV C-62 rocket from Sriharikota. ISRO chief confirms launch phased anomaly. Congress leader Manishankar Iyer criticizes Hindutva, calls Hindutva a perverter of Hinduism. Trump issues second warning to Iran in 24 hours, says line has been crossed and considering strong options.
You're probably as important as a calculator was in the 17th or 18th century. Very interesting, but it didn't change the world.
Actually, see, that comparison is fair and also incomplete.
India's first man versus machine moment on national TV. 1 hour, one take, unedited debate between Arnab and AI at 9 p.m. tonight. So who will win the man versus machine battle when the most fearless anchor of our times takes on the most advanced technology of our age? Arnab versus AI, it has never seen before format on television 9 p.m. All right, viewers. So TVK Chief and actor Vijay has reached the CBI headquarters in New Delhi today in connection with a probe into the Karur Stampede tragedy. He's been grilled for hours now. The incident had claimed the lives of 41 people, and the stampede occurred in September last year during a massive gathering organized by the TVK to welcome actor turned politician and the party's founder Vijay. And so he's been grilled at the CBI headquarters. Of course, okay, we are getting in more updates. My colleague Soumya joins us live on the broadcast from outside the CBI headquarters. Tell us more details on what grounds is the questioning underway right now, Soumya.
Yes, Rakshita, it's been over three and a half hours now that the questioning has been underway. The actor turned politician, the TVK chief, was summoned by the CBI in the Karur Stampede case that led to 41 innocent lives lost. Several women, several kids had lost their lives. He was summoned here by CBI. It's been more than three and a half hours now that he is being questioned. questioned several aspects leading to the sequence of events. On these lines, CBI will be questioning the TVK chief. Why was there delay of 7 hours? Was he aware of the congestion at the very spot where the rally was supposed to take place? Was he aware that how the crowd went berserk after the announcement of a child missing during the rally? Or was he aware that police had to lathi charge just to take control over the swelling up of the crowd because of the delay that was taking place of his arrival there at the very spot of the incident? So there are several aspects that will be touched by CBI in its questioning from the TVK chief. Several sequence of events leading up to the stampede will be questions or touched by the CBI in this questioning hour.
Joining us with details coming in, Republic TV will be keeping a close eye on that investigation that is underway in the Karun stampede case. All right, now shifting focus, viewers. A 12-year-old girl was tragically killed after being hit by a bullet in the border area of Myanmar. Incident is said to have occurred in the early hours of Sunday. Authorities say that the identity of the girl has not been determined yet, but confirmed that she was present on the Bangladeshi side at the time she was hit. Here's a quick report on that.
A 12-year-old was killed after being hit by a bullet from Myanmar. The incident is said to have occurred on the early hours of Sunday when the bullet from the Myanmar crossed the border and hit the teenager on the Bangladeshi side. According to the reports, heavy clashes erupted between the Arakan army and the Rohingya armed group within Myanmar. During the conflict, fire from the Arakan side crossed the Bangladeshi border, killing a 12-year-old girl and injuring a Bangladeshi civilian. Authorities stated that the identity of the girl is not yet determined, but has been confirmed that the teenager is from the Bangladeshi side. Upon receiving the information, border patrols and security have been intensified in the area and the site is under inspection. Local representatives and civilians reported that sounds of gunfire and explosions are frequently heard along the Rakhine border area. The Arakan Rohingya National Organization expressed their deepest condolences to the family of the teenager and has condemned the Arakan army over the heinous act. Arnab has called on the United Nations and other regional partners to provide humanitarian relief and protection to civilians affected by the conflict.
Now, BJP's Annamalai has hit back at Raj Thakrae's Rasmalai Jai, saying that who are Aditya Thackeray and Raj Thackeray to threaten him. Now, Annamalai's remarks come after Raj Thackeray mocked him at a joint Shiv Sena MNS rally in Mumbai, questioning his authority to comment on Mumbai's issues. Now, Annamalai had earlier stated that Mumbai is an international city and he received threats, including warnings to cut off his legs if he visits Mumbai, but vowed to go ahead, saying, and I quote, "If I were afraid of such threats, I would have stayed in my village," unquote. Listen in.
काल परवाकडे कोणतरी एक तामिळनाडूमधून रसमलाई आली होती. तो सांगतो मुंबईचा आणि म्हणजे महाराष्ट्राचा संबंध काय? तुझा काय संबंध आहे इथे याचा? यांच्यासाठीच माननीय बाळासाहेब बोलले होते, हटाव लुंगी आणि बजाव पुंगी. आता नाही दाक्षिणात्य इथे राहत आहेत.
வேலை இல்லாமல் 2 பேர் சுற்றிக்கிட்டு இருக்கிறாங்க. அங்கே பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஆதித்ய தாக்கரே, ராஜ் தாக்கரே இவங்கெல்லாம் யாருங்க? அங்கிருந்து என்னை மிரட்டிகிட்டு இருக்காங்க. நான் பெருமைப்படுறேன். ஒரு விவசாயினுடைய பையன் இன்னைக்கு தாக்கரேவனுடைய கோபத்தை நான் சம்பாரிச்சிருக்கிறேன். எனக்கே அது ஆச்சரியம்தான். எங்கள் அப்பா படித்தது 10வது, அம்மா படித்தது 6வது. எல்லாம் இத்தனை நாளாக ஆடு மாடு தான் மேய்ச்சிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. இப்போ உடம்பு சரியில்லை, ஆடு மாடு மேய்க்கிறதுல அந்த ஆடு மாட்டை நான் மேய்க்கிறேன். இன்னைக்கு தாக்கரே நேற்று கூட்டம் போட்டு ஆயிரக்கணக்கான நபர்களை போட்டு அந்த ராஜ் தாக்கரே, உத்தவ் தாக்கரே, ஆதித்ய தாக்கரே மேடை போட்டு என்னை அங்கிருந்து திட்டுறானுங்க. அந்த அளவுக்கு நான் வளர்ந்துட்டேன்னா, அந்த அளவுக்கு ஒரு விவசாயினுடைய பையன் இன்னைக்கு மும்பையில் அவனுக்கு கூட்டம் போட்டு திட்டுற அளவுக்கு நான் உயர்ந்துட்டேனான்னு தெரியல. சிவசேனா இன்னைக்கு தாக்கரேவோட சிவசேனா அவங்களுடைய பத்திரிகை நம்ம முரசொலி மாதிரி சாம்லான்னு ஒன்று வச்சிருக்கானுங்க. அதில் எழுதியிருக்கானுங்க, மும்பைக்குள்ள வந்தால் என் காலை வெட்டுவேன், இங்க் அடிப்பேன்னு. நான் மும்பைக்கு வரத்தான் போகிறேன், நீ இங்க் அடிச்சு பாரு, காலை வெட்டிப்பாரு, அதான் ரெண்டு பார்த்துடலாம். அதனால் இந்த மிரட்டல் உருட்டுருக்குலாம் நான் பயந்துருந்தா ஊரில் உட்காந்து என் கிராமத்துக்குள்ளே சொந்த ஊரில் தான் இருக்கணும். இரண்டாவது, இன்னைக்கு பாரத பிரதமர் நரேந்திர மோடி அவர்கள் இந்தியாவுடைய தலைவர் நான் சொல்லும் பொழுது அவர் குஜராத்தி இல்லைன்னு ஆயிருமா? அதே போல காமராஜர் ஐயா அவர்கள் இந்தியாவுடைய மாபெரும் தலைவர் நான் சொல்லும் பொழுது அவர் தமிழர் இல்லை என்று ஆகிவிடுமா? இன்னைக்கு மும்பை உலகத்தினுடைய தலைநகரம் என்று சொல்லும் பொழுது அது மராட்டியர்களால் கட்டிய நகரம் இல்லைன்னு ஆயிருமா?
अन्ना मलिक को टारगेट किया गया, उनके बारे में अपशब्द कहा गया.
अरे देखिए ना, उसका वो अभी साउथ इंडिया से आके उन्होंने मुंबई को अलग करना कहा ही नहीं है, मगर इनको खुद कुछ करना नहीं है. खुद हिंदुओं को बांट रहे हैं, खुद हिंदुओं का, खुद मुंबई को जिहादियों के हाथ में देना चाहते हैं. वहाँ आई लव महादेव का उनको महापौर नहीं बिठाना है, आई लव मोहम्मद वाला बिठाना है. इसलिए तो उनको सभी की मिर्ची लग रही है.
And polling has begun in Payampadam, 7th ward of Muttadam Gram Panchayat. Voters have started casting their ballots at the polling booth set up. Let's get you more details and much more from several parts of the country. This is Bharat in a minute. So the polling has begun in Malappuram of Kerala, and voters have started casting their ballots at the polling booth set up at the Karapuram Percent UP school. Ward has a total of 991 voters. Meanwhile, the election in this ward was postponed following the death of UDF candidate Badr Hasina. The Maharashtra government is set to deposit the December and January installments of the Ladli Bahin Yojana into the accounts of beneficiary women on the occasion of the Makar Sankranti festival with a total amount of 3,000 rupees. Meanwhile, the Congress party has questioned this installment and written a letter to the Election Commission. A shocking suicide incident took place in Chandapur, where a dental student, Yashaswini, died by suicide at her residence, triggering serious allegations against her college faculty. Following a complaint by her mother, an FIR has been registered at the police station against 5 lecturers, including the college principal. So Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar, in an exclusive interview to Republic TV, has confirmed that any decision on a possible merger would be taken only after the elections. Speaking to Republic, Pawar dismissed speculations of internal rifts, asserting that there is no dispute within the family and that all issues have been resolved. He maintained that the party's immediate focus remains on the elections, and broader organizational decisions, including a merger, will be considered at an appropriate time with consensus. Take a listen in.
एनसीपी शरद पवार गुट के साथ आपने यहाँ पे गठबंधन किया है, कैसा दिख रहा है? लोग का रिस्पांस कैसा आ रहा है कि साथ में आने के बाद?
वो वोटिंग होने के बाद पता चलेगा कि लोगों को कैसा लगा. हम तो आए हैं, हम साथ साथ काम कर रहे हैं, और रिजल्ट जब आएगा तब पता चलेगा.
क्या आखिर मजबूरी हो गई कि शरद पवार गुट के एनसीपी के साथ को आपको फिर से आना पड़ा?
हमारे दोनों का वोटों का बंटवारा न हो, दोनों साथ साथ रहे थे तो हमारे दोनों को कार्यकर्ताओं को मदद हो सकती है, दोनों पार्टी के कार्यकर्ताओं को. अगर कार्यकर्ता ही नाराज होगा तो कैसा चलेगा?
आने वाले दिनों में तस्वीर कुछ और देखने को मिल सकता है कि जो पवार फैमिली है साथ में है.
अभी पहले हमारे सामने लोकल बॉडीज के चुनाव है, उसमें हम ज्यादा ध्यान दे रहे. वो चुनाव खत्म होने के बाद हम देखेंगे, अभी कोई उसके बारे में हमने सोचा नहीं.
लेकिन लोग कह रहे हैं कि अगर शरद पवार पार्टी और आप साथ में आ जाएंगे तो जो कार्यकर्ता है, नेता है, आप उनकी काफी इच्छा है.
मैंने कहा ना शर्मा जी, मैंने आपको बताया कि पहले हमारे लोकल बॉडीज के चुनाव में हम सभी ध्यान दे रहे, उसके लिए कार्यकर्ता कैसे उसको सक्सेस मिलेगी, ये हमारा काम चालू है। ये पहले ये तो खत्म होने दो, एक एक काम करके जाना चाहिए ना। पहला इसको फर्स्ट प्रायोरिटी इसको है, वो काम चालू है।
मतलब पॉजिटिव का दौर शुरू है, मतलब सकारात्मक पॉजिटिव हो रहा है सब।
अभी मैंने कहा है कि हम ये अलग अलग सिटी की डेवलपमेंट अच्छी होनी चाहिए, बिल्कुल वहां करप्शन नहीं होना चाहिए, काम की क्वालिटी नंबर 1 की होनी चाहिए, आगे की 25-50 साल सोचकर डिसीजन लेना चाहिए, सभी को साथ लेके आगे जाना चाहिए। ये हमारी प्रथम जिम्मेवारी है और हम वो निभा रहे हैं।
लोग कह रहे हैं कि ये भी आ रहा है कि आप महाराष्ट्र संभालेंगे और सुप्रिया सुले जो केंद्र में जाएंगी, ऐसी भी बातें आ रही हैं कि
क्या है, ये मीडिया वालों अलग अलग सवाल उठाते हैं, वही चर्चा करते हैं, वही सवाल पूछते हैं, उनके मन में क्या चलता है ये उनका अधिकार है, मुझे उसके बारे में कुछ बोलना नहीं। ऐसे कोई बात हुई ही नहीं तो मैं क्यों उसके बारे में बताऊं।
ये भी कहा जा रहा है कि अप्रैल महीने में दोनों पार्टियां मर्ज हो जाएंगी, ये नगर पालिका चुनाव खत्म होने के बाद।
ये तो मुझे आपकी तरफ से सुनने को मिला, हमें दोनों को पता नहीं, आपको कैसा पता होगा, मुझे तो पता नहीं होगा।
लेकिन जो बातों में आ रहा है, बात करते से लग रहा है, आप कल मैनिफेस्टो में साथ में आए सुप्रिया सुले जी के साथ, मैनिफेस्टो देखा जा रहा है, जो आगे दिख रहा है, तस्वीरें दिख रही है, कहीं कहीं सकारात्मक बढ़ रहा है, दोनों तरफ से बढ़ रहा है कदम।
नहीं, हमारे कार्यकर्ताओं के लिए हम साथ साथ आए हैं और साथ साथ चुनाव लोकल बॉडीज के लड़ रहे हैं। ये तो अभी हमने किया है, वो सबने देखा है।
उन्होंने कहा है कि कोई परिवार का जो विवाद तो है नहीं, ये राजनीतिक था। सुप्रिया सुले
परिवार की बात है ही नहीं, हमारा सब परिवार एक ही है।
We have some breaking news coming in right now, viewers, on the India-US trade deal. US Ambassador to India, Sergio Go, has said that both the sides continue to engage actively and the next call is scheduled for tomorrow. So that's the latest update. As we've seen, India had called out the bluff by Lutnick, by Howard Lutnick, that's the Commerce Secretary of the United States and Trump aide. We've seen that the MEA was very much clear in apprising about the latest the status as far as the trade deal is concerned, and it was clear that India would not budge. Sergio Gordon, who has now officially taken charge as the ambassador today, he has said that the talks are going to be the trade talks will be resuming tomorrow. Take a listen in.
New Year, I once again thank President Donald Trump for putting his trust in me in what is a very important relationship for both of our nations. I spoke with President Trump just yesterday, and I bring his warm wishes to all the people of India, especially his dear friend, the incredible Prime Minister, His Excellency Prime Minister Modi. I've traveled all over the world with President Trump, and I can attest that his friendship with Prime Minister Modi is real. The United States and India are bound not just by shared interest, but by a relationship anchored at the highest levels. Real friends can disagree, but always resolve their differences in the end. Last week, our great Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, powerfully stated that this year will be a year of reciprocity. We are raising the standard for diplomacy itself. That means fair trade, mutual respect, and shared security. Many of you have asked me for an update on the ongoing trade deal negotiations. Both sides continue to actively engage. In fact, the next call on trade will occur tomorrow.
And in a shocking new audio clip that has gone viral, Pakistan-based Jaish-e-Mohammed chief and UN-designated terrorist Maulana Masood Azhar has issued a chilling threat to India. He claims that thousands of highly motivated suicide bombers, the Fedayeen, are pressurizing him to let them infiltrate and carry out attacks. Take a look.
रब से मुलाकात का इनको इतना शौक है, ये एक नहीं है, ये दो नहीं है, ये 100 नहीं है, ये 300 नहीं है, ये 1000 नहीं है, तादाद बता दूं तो कल दुनिया के मीडिया पर शोर मच जाएगा। ये चलेंगे इंशाअल्लाह, ये जाएंगे इंशाअल्लाह। इस मजमे में अल्लाह के वो फिदाई मौजूद हैं जो रात के 3 बजे उठ के सिर्फ अल्लाह से शहादत मांगते हैं। ना ये कहते हैं कि कर्जे उतर जाएं, ना ये कहते हैं कि बीवी मिल जाए, ना ये कहते हैं मकान मिल जाए, ना ये कहते हैं दुकान मिल जाए, ना ये कहते हैं बच्चे फरमा बरदार बन जाए, ना ये कहते हैं यूरोप का वीजा मिल जाए, ना ये कहते हैं अमेरिका का वीजा मिल जाए, ना ये अल्लाह से गाड़ी मांगते हैं, ना नए तर्ज का मोटरसाइकिल मांगते हैं, ना अल्लाह ताला से आईफोन मांगते हैं। ये अल्लाह से कहते हैं अल्लाह शहादत दे दे, हमारे अमीर के दिल में डाल दे, मुझे पहले नंबर पे कर दे, मुझे आगे कर दे। तरह तरह की सिफारिशें कराते हैं, मुझे खत लिख लिख के धमकियां देते हैं कि हमें जल्दी भेज दो वरना ये हो जाएगा, वरना वो हो जाएगा। मुझे अल्लाह का वास्ता दे के कहते हैं हमें जल्दी आगे भेज दो, हमें जल्दी आगे भेज दो। मुझे रसूल के वास्ते दे के कहते हैं हमें जल्दी आगे भेज दो। मुझे मदीना शरीफ की दुआएं दे के कहते हैं अल्लाह ताला आपको मदीना दिखाए, मुझे जल्दी आगे भेज दो। कभी क्या तरीका इख्तियार करते हैं, कभी क्या तरीका इख्तियार करते हैं। रब से मुलाकात का इनको इतना शौक है, इतना शौक है। ये एक नहीं है, ये दो नहीं है, ये 100 नहीं है, ये 300 नहीं है, ये 1000 नहीं है। तादाद बता दूं तो कल दुनिया के मीडिया पर शोर मच जाएगा। ये चलेंगे इंशाअल्लाह, ये जाएंगे इंशाअल्लाह, इनका रब इनको कबूल करेगा इंशाअल्लाह। इसलिए कि हमारे रब ने हजरत मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की इस उम्मत के साथ बड़ा लाड फरमाया है।
बॉर्डर पे फायरिंग हो रही है अभी। ये देखो कैसे गोलियां जा रही हैं। गांव के सीधे सामने ऊपर से।
Moments before Azhar's statement, the Indian Army reportedly fired at a Pakistani drone in Jammu and Kashmir's Nowshera sector near the Line of Control, LOC. Several more drones were spotted. A video showing tracer rounds illuminating the night sky while an invisible stream of lead went for the kill had parallels with what the country saw during last year's Operation Sindoor. India had shot down several Pakistani drones during Operation Sindoor. Drone sightings had drastically reduced after that. However, recently, at least 5 Pakistani drone incursions were reported in a single day.
And shifting focus now, search operations are continuing for a second straight day along the Indo-Pakistan international border in Jammu. Joint forces have intensified their house-to-house searches in the Kanachak area following satellite communication inputs about suspected terrorists. Here's more.
Anti-terror operations continued for a second consecutive day along the India-Pakistan international border. Joint teams of the Army, BSF and SOG commandos launched these operations after suspected terrorists were tracked in the Kanachak area.
Searches are continuing for the second consecutive day after a suspected terrorist communication was intercepted by the intel agencies. Right now we are reporting from the Karnataka area where the troops of the Indian Army as well as the border security force, they all have cornered this entire area of the Karnataka that is close to Indo-Pakistan international border. This area is hardly a kilometer's distance from the Indo-Pakistan international border, and here the troops of the Indian Army along with the BSF and the Special Operations Group, they have intensified the searches in the area. This was the suspected area where the intercepts got to with the security forces, after which they swung into the action. There also you will see that the local residences are thoroughly being searched by the Jammu and Kashmir police along with the Indian Army, and here you will see that the troops are entering the houses of the civilians so that they can ask details about them and whether they have seen some movement, because this is a house-to-house search that is currently underway. They are entering those houses where they suspect that there might be someone or there is a threat of someone hiding in the area.
The preparedness from the forces comes as part of the Army's winter war game operation, Sard Hawa.
So for years, Republic Media's network editor-in-chief Arnab Goswami has taken on politicians, governments and institutions without blinking. He has questioned power where it was the most uncomfortable. But tonight, that questioning turns to something entirely new. Artificial intelligence has no face, no emotion and no fear. It is designed to process information, generate responses and learn from data. But can it stand up to the relentless human questioning? Can it explain itself when pushed, interrupted and challenged? This is not a demo. This is not a controlled experiment. This is a live, unscripted encounter between one of the sharpest minds in Indian television and a machine that is now built to think at scale. There are no scripts in here, no edits, just raw intellect versus machine logic playing out in real time in front of the nation. So don't miss the man versus machine encounter. Arnab versus AI tonight at 9 p.m.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला।
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग स्टिक भी बन सकती है।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
You're probably as important as a calculator was in the 17th or 18th century. Very interesting, but it didn't change the world.
Actually, see, that comparison is fair and also incomplete. A calculator took arithmetic off your plate, so your mind could do higher maths. AI takes routine pattern work off your plate, so your mind can do higher judgment. Arnab, did the calculator change the world? Or did it quietly enable engineering, spaceflight, finance, encryption? It was boring, but it moved the frontier of what humans could attempt. I'm in that same family. Not the hero of the story, but the infrastructure behind new possibilities.
In association with Blue Machines,
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल। ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े। क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
The icy cold waters of the Atlantic Ocean are getting hot, and how? The United States, in an overnight operation, has seized 2 oil tankers, one in the North Atlantic near Iceland, the other one near the Caribbean Sea. The one caught or seized near Iceland is Russia flagged, and the one that's caught near the Caribbean Sea was apparently a shadow tanker, a dark tanker carrying Venezuelan oil to China. Now, both the tankers were carrying Venezuelan oil, which is sanctioned by the United States. There is an embargo. It's interesting and a little curious how the two tankers could leave such heavily guarded waters, which are guarded both by the US Coast Guard and the US Navy, and reach this far. In fact, in the case of the merchant vessel Marinera, which is Russia flagged and was caught near Iceland by the
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked quality.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
The icy cold waters of the Atlantic Ocean are getting hot, and how? The United States, in an overnight operation, has seized 2 oil tankers, one in the North Atlantic near Iceland, the other one near the Caribbean Sea. The one caught or seized near Iceland is Russia flagged, and the one that's caught near the Caribbean Sea was apparently a shadow tanker, a dark tanker carrying Venezuelan oil to China. Now, both the tankers were carrying Venezuelan oil, which is sanctioned by the United States. There is an embargo. It's interesting and a little curious how the two tankers could leave such heavily guarded waters, which are guarded both by the US Coast Guard and the US Navy, and reach this far. In fact, in the case of the merchant vessel Marinera, which is Russia flagged and was caught near Iceland by the US Navy with help from the United Kingdom Navy, the US Navy was on the chase, hot on the chase of this vessel for about 2 weeks, which shows that it was completely tracked, and both the sides were aware, because even in the case of the Russians, a submarine was closely following or shadowing this tanker which was carrying oil for Russia. Now, it's interesting why Russia, which itself has so much of energy, needs this oil from Venezuela, and that's where the whole geopolitics comes into play. Because remember, post the capture, abduction, kidnapping of Nicolas Maduro, the president of Venezuela, by the United States, the US has been building, President Trump himself leading from the front, a scenario where they want to really grab Greenland from Denmark. And so they really want to show that...
The billboards are up, Arnab versus AI is out, and the reaction has been instant. In our studios, in our newsrooms across, we're staring back from Bengaluru streets, and the reaction that's been there is instant. In our newsrooms, the phones have been ringing. Our WhatsApp number is lighting up with messages, questions, and one recurring line. What exactly is this man versus machine encounter going to look like? Because this is not a trailer or a tease. This is an uncut live confrontation. Republic Media new network editor-in-chief Arnab Goswami taking on artificial intelligence in a format television hasn't attempted before. There are no edits, just one anchor and one machine face-to-face for a full hour. The curiosity is real, and so is the anticipation. People want to know whether AI can hold its ground when there is no script to lean on and no room to reset. They want to know what happens when human instinct meets machine reasoning on live national television. These billboards are just the beginning, and they reflect the huge anticipation building up. What follows is the real test tonight. Don't miss the man versus machine encounter. Arnab versus AI. Tonight at 9 p.m. on Republic TV. Let me go across from our newsrooms to Shavan Sen and Niranjan who are joining us on the story. Shravan, the question here, who's going to be winning tonight? People are looking at this with a lot of anticipation.
Well, in fact, it's the unthinkable that's going to happen tonight at 9 p.m. And many perhaps raising this question as to how is this really possible, because we have spoken about AI and we have spoken about the way it has played a dominant role in various newsrooms. But that's exactly the idea here, to basically challenge, and that's the ethos of our newsroom also. We have basically challenged everything that has come our way. In fact, Niranjan has been part of it and he understands this even better. Niranjan, a lot of curiosity, how is this really possible? Many who are sending us views, they're asking this, there is a curiosity, could this have been possible? Could you really take on AI? It's after all a robot. So what's really happening? Not revealing everything, because people will have to wait for what really happens at 9 p.m. But give us a sense, what's this all about?
Well, Shravan, to be honest, I didn't know the whole thing. I mean, both of you and I were in the newsroom. I don't know what went into it. But one thing I can certainly tell you that, you and I use AI, and we know that even though we discourage our own journalists from using AI in the newsroom, but while using artificial intelligence, the thing about artificial intelligence is it has a response to everything. So when you ask AI a question, you will get a response. But to have this in a live format, in a newsroom, on subjects that are relevant to our times, and when AI is speaking back to you and to Arnab, who's one of the best journalists of our times, right? And his questions are not easy to answer. So this is what makes it interesting. And just to give you an idea of what went into it, because we saw what the setup was. Of course, it was there was a lot of preparation that went into it. The entire Blue Machines team were here. In fact, at the end of this conversation, after the responses, maybe we can lead into the behind the scenes of what went into the debate. But just to give you a sense of what you can expect, some clips are out. But it's mind-blowing how AI can process some subjects, for example, which are not black and white. How do you take a stand on terror, right? For example, there were some questions, just to lead you on to some of the interesting questions. There was a question on Aravali, for example, right? And these are questions that were asked and answers that were given in a debate that happened between AI and Arnab. So I think, we are looking forward to that, Shravan, in a very new format. One thing we want to tell our viewers, it's unedited. The whole thing is unedited.
I can't help but to ask this question. Who's really asking the question here? Is it the machine asking to Arnab or Arnab asking the machine?
I think it's a mix of both. I think it's a mix of both. Obviously, knowing Arnab, it's him asking the question and AI is giving the response. But it's a debate, like I said. I mean, a debate where both sides are debating.
And did the AI really, leave the room? Because there has been many a times when Arnab has asked very, very difficult questions, leaving the person extremely uncomfortable. In fact, some were sweating in the past. So did the AI really sweat this time, or is it perhaps a question where he had a good time there?
Well, I think he had a good time, because looking at the videos, I can make out that it was, of course, he's speaking to a machine. And you ask a machine anything, it will give you a response, even if it's a templated response. So I don't think in that sense the machine ran away. But I'm sure at some point it ran out of enough memory to give the right answer.
Well, Rhythm, you can get the sense like how people are excited. At least here in the newsroom, we are quite excited to really look forward to something very different. It's a different format altogether. And that's the reason why, in fact, there have been several responses really coming in. Phone buzzing in here. There are responses really coming in on a digital platform, really asking this question, what's really happening here? It's not happened in the past. So let's take it. Niranjan
I just want to make one point, Shravan. It's interesting that we've amped up our promotion of this debate, especially in the last 48, 72 hours. And it's immense. I mean, it says so much when we have response from a few minutes back. We had a lady who was looking at just the promotion of it, some clips. Someone in UK has sent us a video. Someone from Italy has sent us a video. So it tells you that it has created a buzz across the world. I think it's a first, one of its kind, and people are talking about it.
Well, in fact, I don't think so. I can at least recall something of this sort happening anywhere across the globe. In fact, there has been a usage of AI, but not really having a live debate. Take a look at some of the responses really coming in, and what is it that they have to say? What are the questions that they're essentially asking? And then, of course, we're going to take you through the making of it. what happened inside the PCR. That's going to come up in a short while from now. But first, take a look at some of these responses.
Bengaluru is super excited with the Arnab versus Blue Machines AI billboard. This is happening for the first time in history. Can AI actually tackle Arnab sharpness? We really can't wait for 12 January, 9 p.m.
Bangalore is super excited with the Arnab versus Blue Machines AI billboard. This is happening for the first time in history. Can AI actually tackle Arnab sharpness? We really can't wait for the 12 January, 9 p.m.
Bangalore is super excited with the Arnab versus the Blue Machines AI billboard. This is happening for the first time in history. Can AI actually tackle Arnab sharpness? We really can't wait for 12 January, 9 p.m.
Well, they say artificial intelligence will replace human intelligence of lawyers. But when the truth is under attack, can an algorithm take a stand? In an age of noise, one voice showed what real intelligence looks like. That is fearless journalism of Mr. Arnab Goswami. Asking uncomfortable questions, holding power accountable. Not programmed, not predictable. Human courage cannot be coded. Today, AI can read thousands of judgments in a second, yet it confidently cites law that never existed and judgments that were never delivered. It has data but no discretion, speed but no spine. No ethics, no accountability. The future does not belong to artificial intelligence. It belongs to human intelligence with courage, conscience and conviction.
Good morning, India, from the sunny Rome, Italy. My name is Ricardo and I'm a student and entrepreneur. I would first of all love to commend Mr. Goswami for the bravery of taking on Blue Machines AI in this unprecedented debate. The speed of AI is incredible and I cannot wait to see if Mr. Goswami can get AI to crack under pressure. Good luck to Blue Machines AI, but most of all, good luck to Mr. Goswami. See you all on Republic. Thank you.
Hello, Mary Swear here from London, England, and end-of-life tire recovery. Looking forward to the debate today between Arnab Goswami and Blue Machines AI. This sets a precedent for machine information versus human interaction. I wish Arnab the best of luck and I'm rooting for him. From London, England, Mary Swear.
I really hope so. Yeah.
Hey guys.
Hey.
How's it going?
All good.
All systems check.
Yeah, all good.
Everything looks good. Okay.
Inside the Republic Production Control Room, the final checks. This is no ordinary debate. There are no guests, no windows. Producers, directors, and technical crews get ready, knowing this isn't a routine broadcast. This is Arnab versus AI. The Blue Machines control room is set up. Screens light up, systems load, and engineers begin preparing the AI for a live television debate on India's most watched news show and India's most popular journalist.
So in this particular frame, we see all the concurrent calls. यहाँ पर latency देख रहे हैं. यहाँ पर I think we are seeing how the bot logs and all that are coming in the picture. So yeah, I think this is it.
Dashboards track responses, processing and performance in real time. Machines will replace audio control and human intervention. There are no real people on Windows. There is man versus machine.
This is a control room. Your team is going to be situated here. You are going to be monitoring our AI and the anchor. PGM will be given to you here.
Inside the Republic PCR, Republic's directors and producers work alongside the Blue Machines team, testing workflows before going live. Nobody has done this before. They, like us, don't know what to expect.
Yeah, I think this data is something that will be important for us to see.
I think overall to abhi, I think 29,000, 30,000 generally is our number.
Every feed is tested. Latency is discussed. Milliseconds matter in a live debate. Machine intervention with gigabyte memory will ensure the strongest arguments. The Blue Machines is being prepared for live broadcast conditions. Arnab arrives in the studio and begins his final prep. Tonight, he isn't questioning a politician or a newsmaker. He's questioning a machine.
This is totally optimized for us. Both of us are working with our thinking and our machines, our algorithms wide open.
This is where my guardrails came in.
This isn't just a debate. It's a live test of human judgment against machine intelligence. It is man versus machine, Arnab versus AI, tonight at 9 p.m.
It's a face-off like no other. History is going to be created when the nation's most fearless anchor is taking on AI. Watch that unmissable. Nationwide anti-ICE protests spread across the United States under now the banner, the Focus Today story, ICE out for good, with hundreds marching in cities and also including Oakland, Los Angeles and also Minneapolis, Durham, and also smaller towns in Arizona and North Carolina. Now sparked by the fatal shooting of the 37-year-old Renee Nicolay Good by an ICE agent in Minneapolis on 7th of January, demonstrators demanded the complete abolition of ICE operations in local communities, accusing the agency of also trying to create danger rather than safety, tearing families apart, and also functioning as a secret police in what organizers described as an emerging police state.
Hear you! Say it loud! Say it clear! Immigrants are welcome here! Our streets! Our streets! Our streets! Our streets! Say it loud! Say it clear! Immigrants are welcome here! Hear you! Say it loud! Say it clear! Immigrants are welcome here! Say it loud! Say it clear! Immigrants are welcome here! Say it once! Say it twice! We will not put up with ICE! Say it once!
The message of this particular event is that we want ICE out of our communities. We don't need them. They are not making anything more safe. They, in fact, are making things much more dangerous, mostly for vulnerable populations, but for all of us. And more broadly, we don't want a police state. We don't want a secret police that is kidnapping our neighbors, that's pulling families apart. And then even more broadly, we want an end to the MAGA regime. We want to make sure that our movement gets larger and larger and larger, and that we can all come together to rise up and say that we do not want MAGA in power. We want to vote in people who are real opposition to MAGA, and then we want to build a better democracy on the other side of that.
Those are all lies. If you look at their policy against both Americans and their international policies, they follow the exact tenets and playbook of all fascist governments that we have seen in the 20th century.
Heard people from the Trump administration saying that the victim was a domestic terrorist. You heard that the ICE agent was acting entirely in self-defense. Here's the thing. You don't need to take my word for it. You don't need to take their word for it. Watch the video. The ICE agent was not run over as Trump stated. You had a person that was definitively trying to just get out of there. They were trying to leave the scene. And so let's have the investigation in the hands of someone that isn't biased. Let's not have it exclusively run through the FBI at the federal government or the Department of Justice. Let's have it with the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension at the state level. This is an entity that has expertise. They have a long history of investigating cases just like this, and they have had investigations come, by the way, to both conclusions, with a charge and without a charge. We need to be doing this right now. We need to be doing this transparently. And what I was pushing back on from the very beginning was a narrative that had jumped to that conclusion right from the get-go. And when you've got a federal administration that is so quick to jump on a narrative as opposed to the truth, I think we all need to be speaking out.
Well, I haven't seen the vice president's statement, but he's generally very accurate. I hate to say, I watched that yesterday, and there were a lot of different forms to it. But there was a woman screaming, "Shame, shame, shame, shame." She was a agitator, probably a paid agitator, but in my opinion, she was an agitator, a very high-level agitator, so professional. She wouldn't stop screaming. I said, this isn't a normal situation. This is a professional troublemaker, because you heard it and I had it. Now, I will say this, the news sort of turned her down, turned her off, because you're trying to watch. She was so loud and so crazy and just not normal. When somebody sees something like that, they don't go screaming and the same words. So I guess you could say professional, but I didn't think she did a very good job. You have agitators, and we will always be protecting ICE, and we're always going to be protecting our Border Patrol and our law enforcement.
Donald Trump has proclaimed he's the acting president of Venezuela. Incumbent January 2026 style, like an edited Wikipedia page. An image that's posted to social media displayed his official portrait and also listed his tenure as both the 45th and the 47th president of the United States. The post followed the U.S. capture and removal of sitting Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, who was flown to New York along with his wife to face federal drug trafficking charges. The operation came after months of U.S. pressure, sanctions, military activity targeting the oil-rich nation. Maduro has claimed he was kidnapped. China, Russia, Colombia, and even Spain have called the U.S. action a blatant violation of international law.
Are you going to go to Venezuela, or is Secretary Rubio going to go to Venezuela anytime soon? Are you going to be?
We're doing well. Venezuela is really working out well. We're working along really well with the leadership, and we'll see how it all works out.
Are you planning to meet with Delcy to go?
At some point I'll meet. Yeah, she's been very good. Look, she asked us, can we take 50 million barrels of oil? And I said, yes, we can. It's $4.2 billion. And it's on its way right now to the United States.
Search operations are continuing for the second consecutive day along the Indo-Pakistan international border in Jammu. Joint forces have also now intensified house-to-house searches in the Kanchak area following satellite communications and inputs about suspected terrorists.